There are haunted places people talk about, and then there are haunted places you experience for yourself. Places that stay with you long after you've left. Places where something occurs, and no matter how rational you try to be, you still replay it in your mind at 2 a.m. Tonight, I'm sharing the 5 most haunted places I've personally investigated in Australia. Not stories from the internet, not secondhand legends. These are places I've explored myself, alongside my husband. Places we filmed, investigated, and occasionally questioned our judgment in. And some of what happened in these places, I still can't explain. Welcome to Deathly Curious Australia, where haunted history, mystery, true crime, and unexplained collide. I'm your host, Monique, curious by nature, brave when required, and known to ask questions that should probably remain unanswered. Before we begin, a quick disclaimer. I'm not someone who believes everything. I question first. I test first. I look for the logical explanation first. I call myself a skeptical believer. I'm open-minded, but not easily sold. Because sometimes there's a clear answer, and sometimes there really isn't. Let's begin. At number 5, we have Picton Tunnel. Picton Tunnel is where this journey really began for me. The old Red Bank Range Tunnel is better known as the Picton Mushroom Tunnel. My first organised ghost hunt, and it was more than 20 years ago. Looking back, it was a very ambitious place to start. It was led by the late Liz Vincent, who was a friend. She was a historian and a ghost tour guide who many people deeply respected and still do. Over the years, I've had multiple experiences in the tunnel, but one stands out in particular. A glowing, misty kind of white illumination. Mist slowly formed towards the end of the tunnel in the darkness. You'd look away and then you'd look back, and it seemed as if it was slowly coming closer and closer and drifting towards us. It wasn't rushed, not random. It seemed intentional, inquisitive, which is exactly the kind of behaviour I dislike in a mist. Could there be an explanation? Possibly. Your eyes can play tricks. But standing there, it felt anything but ordinary, anything but logical. It just didn't make sense. On other visits to the tunnel, I felt a heavy, dark presence. It seems to suddenly move towards you. And one particular night, it seemed to just pass right through me. That feeling of cold dread, the kind that tells your body to leave. And when it first happened, for once I listened. That tunnel has a way of making you feel watched. And trust me, Picton deserves its own full episode. Number 4, we have Beechworth Asylum. If Picton began the obsession, number 4 made me question everything. Beechworth Asylum. Its long corridors, its empty silent rooms. A history that just kind of hangs in the air. The moment that stayed with me happened in the basement. I asked for proof. Specifically, I asked to be scratched. Not one of my better decisions. Moments later, my friend Mel reacted. Fresh marks had appeared on the back of her neck, underneath clothing, under her layers, under her scarf. We went silent. Naturally, my brain went to analysis mode. Had it happened earlier? Could fabric have caused it? Were we overlooking something obvious? Nothing fit neatly. And if I'm honest, I was also mildly offended. They ignored my request and chose Mel instead. And they hurt her, which frankly felt very rude. Number 3, we have old Parramatta Jail. And number 3 was different. Because this one followed us home. Old Parramatta Jail. I love that place. We've investigated there quite a few times. But one night never left me. It happened in the women's wing. There were 4 of us. We had a spirit box running through a portal. Then we heard it. A child's voice. Mummy. The room froze. Moments later, it came again. Hi, Mummy. All 4 of us heard the same thing. Now, yes, spirit boxes are debated, and fairly so. But shared moments are harder to brush aside. We had cat balls going off and that sort of thing. Quite active that night. And then my husband Anthony, in one of the boldest paranormal decisions of his life, invited little boy we heard through the spirit box to come home with us. I would officially like it noted, I did not approve this invitation. A few days later, I looked up at our bedroom ceiling, 10 feet high. Dirty handprints. Small ones. Far too high for any child to reach. We had teen and adult children. Where did they come from? Anthony has not represented our household in spiritual matters since. Number 2, we have the quarantine station at North Head, Manly in Sydney. So if you think number 3 was unsettling, the next 2 still make my stomach drop. Beautiful harbour views by day. By night, deeply uncomfortable. The kind of place where your eyes admire it and your nervous system objects. My most memorable moment happened inside the old hospital. 3 of us stood quietly. Then the atmosphere shifted. The motion-sensing music box began to activate. One tick, then another, then faster, sharper, almost hurried, then silence. We waited. The tension seemed to just build in the air in anticipation of something we felt was about to happen. And then across from one side of the room, a pebble flew. All 3 of us jumped and screamed. Maybe there's an explanation I still haven't found. But at the time, none of us could see one. Whatever it was, it wanted attention. Maybe it didn't want us in there. Number 1, Arrowdale Asylum. I didn't choose this one lightly. This place still unsettles me. We were standing in the women's ward when loud footsteps sounded above us. These were heavy footsteps, like boots crossing floorboards overhead. The building appeared empty. We were told there was no one else there. But naturally, we needed to explore. We asked the guide to be taken upstairs because curiosity and common sense rarely travel together. So we weaved our way through maze-like corridors, looking for the source, kind of hoping that we'd come across another staff member who may have been locking up for the night. We were the last ones there. And there was nothing. We got to the area where we felt these footsteps were coming from and asked one question. If someone was with us, make a noise. We heard a knock. So just to be sure, we asked again. Another knock. Then another. It got faster. The rhythm quickened. The force intensified. And those knocks came closer and closer until it became aggressive banging directly in front of us. We couldn't see anything, but we could hear it. It wasn't beside us. It wasn't further down the hall in another room. It was right in front of us. We froze. My mind scrambled for explanations. Could it be pipes? Could it be old timber? Echoes? Anything? Nothing made sense. Externally, I may have been calm. Internally, absolute chaos. I was shocked. But strangely, I would still go back. Because fear and fascination often go hand in hand. They arrive together. So, people often ask whether I believe in ghosts. Truthfully, I believe in experiences. I believe places can hold history. And I believe the mind can misread, misinterpret things. Especially if we want something so badly. We want proof of the afterlife. But I believe some moments remain stubbornly unexplained. That's why I call myself a skeptical believer. Curious enough to explore, grounded enough to question. So, if tonight's episode made you deathly curious, follow the show, leave a comment, and share it with someone who enjoys being frightened for entertainment, or who is just curious like you and I. And if you'd like to experience some of tonight's locations for yourself, I've included links in the show description to trusted ghost tours at Beechworth Asylum, Old Parramatta Jail, Quarantine Station in Manly, and Arrowdale Asylum. So, until next time, some things are better left where you found them. Stay curious, but not too curious. Thanks for joining me. Bye.